Maybe let's start there. How was it? The importance of it, even though it was early in the season, you got to take advantage of when it comes, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like it's easy to complain about it with it being a week 2 bye week, us coming out the first week. But I figure it gives us an opportunity to get ahead on the opponent. We're able to watch Montreal this weekend. They got 2 weeks worth of game film. We only have 1. So I look at it as an advantage.
Yeah, and obviously a little more time for game prep for the coaches and everything too, which always helps, right?
Yes, sir. And it also gives us a chance to unwind, coming off a long training camp, then having, not being successful out there in BC, gives us a time to step away from the game, reset, and get back into it.
Go back to BC, in your mind. Talk about maybe what you didn't like, what went wrong, what was good about the game.
Just overall defensively, the lack of execution. We came out the first half, started off hot, had a great first half, and in the second half, we kind of let it go down, came back up a little bit, let it go down. So really just being consistent. I feel like that's the biggest thing is having consistency, execution, and just killing the mental errors. But like I said, man, it was week 1. We never have excuses, but that gives us 17 weeks to fix it.
When you had pressure called, it got there. Nathan Rourke escaped. When you had 4-man pressure, it got there.
Yeah.
Nathan Rourke escaped. I think, like you say, the execution errors. And that's got to be tough for a defense when you know the play that was called was executed to a certain level, but you didn't finish. That's got to be tough.
Yeah, it is tough, and I take accountability on a couple of those. I had him dead to rights for a sack, and credits to him. He's a shifty guy. This was my first time really playing against him. So I can say I underestimated his athletic ability, and he really showed it. So, they took advantage of that. Glad that we get to play those guys a couple more times. But kudos to them. They took advantages of our shortcomings, and now it's on to Montreal.
Now it's Davis Alexander. What have you seen from him on film and getting ready for him?
Definitely not underestimating his athleticism. You only made that mistake once in the season. But he's just an athletic quarterback. They do kind of similar, give you a lot of different looks, but do what they do, run inside zone team, Sally team. He just extend plays with his legs. They like to take shots. Overall, they're just a powerhouse offense. Got a great defense. So it's going to be a great matchup, but that's what we want.
And they're an offensive. 2 games in, they put up some points, they put up some yards. They're a challenge. Right?
Yeah, most definitely. But I like us against anybody. But that's what we want. Beginning of the season, we want to play who seems to be the best in the league so we can see where we at. And we can really show what we can do. We had, the shortcomings. Had a great half, though. Like, if you go back and you look at that game against BC, it really wasn't a big difference in the score until like late in the fourth quarter. Yeah. So it shows that we're right there. So having the bye week, being able to come off of that, being able to come out this week, have a short week, be able to prepare for Montreal, I think we're going to have a great game.
Yeah, it's a 1-score game in the fourth quarter, right?
Right.
So you got a chance, obviously, in games like that, right?
Right, most definitely. And just keeping it close, man, and getting over that hump. Since I've been in Edmonton, even last year, you look at the first 7 games, right there. So I feel like starting this week, this is the time to get over that hump. Instead of just saying, okay, we're going to do it, let's start with this week. Getting over that hump, being able to finish close games, and getting a win at home in front of these fans.
Now, I think over the bye week, I saw you're at some hockey games.
Yeah, I was.
You went to the watch party?
I did go to the watch party. I enjoyed that, man. Looking forward to the Oilers, going down to Florida, getting it done, coming home for Game 7 and clinching it.
How much do you know about hockey? Have you ever seen it before you came north?
No. So my first hockey game was in October of last year. Yeah. I went to I think they played the team out of Carolina. They didn't win that one, but I was just amazed with, the gladiator mentality on the ice, and just the logistics of the game. Like it just takes a lot. It takes a lot of skill. And I was asking a lot of questions. I was like, so who would be LeBron? Like I try to associate different sports. So I was like, who would be the LeBron? And it was like Connor McDavid would be LeBron. And so I was like, okay, well he's in Edmonton, so there's a great guy to watch. But just looking forward to them executing. I feel like I've been educated, even just watching them and being back in Edmonton this year. I didn't even know that Edmonton was called the City of Champions. Yeah. I found that out last week. And so to really understand like the legacy that this city has with its sports teams, really just praying that they get it done, and it really just boosts the morale for us to have a great season and bring another cup come November.
Did you watch last night much?
I did watch last night. They just got to finish those tough games. I mean, it's the same thing, hand in hand with Edmonton teams. With those guys, just battling and putting themselves in, not so great positions and trying to come back late, and us doing the same thing, not taking care of business at the end. And I just feel like, both teams going to get a great win this week.
Good stuff.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Nick.
Thank you.
Appreciate it as always, man.